Hey YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Shopify app development tutorial series. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to do a product search using just title. Like for example, we have an input box, right? And we search for, let's say, an iPhone case and we type that in. Then the results will show up, kind of like a Google search, and then you search for example, weekly how, and then our website will show up. This is actually one of the things that Shopify API does not offer. We do have product API, collections API, and blah blah blah, but we can't search for items by its title. Yes, you can do that with its ID, but you can't provide like a short term. For example, I'm looking for a product where its ID starts with 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6, something like that. The API should show that, but unfortunately for us, it's not available. That's why we have come up with this lesson, so every Shopify devs will know how to do it if they want to. Don't worry, we're not going to use database for this lesson, just pure PHP and Shopify API. However, if you're looking for a lesson that covers how to connect your Shopify app to the database, we're going to provide you guys a lesson or a URL or a link down in the description. Please check that out before proceeding to this lesson. Because in this lesson, we're gonna use it anyway. We're going to connect our Shopify app to the database so we can take our access token from the database, and we don't have to keep typing and typing it every single time. So open our projects and let's get started. Okay, so we're here in our index.php. The first thing we're going to do is to open our PHP, of course. Okay, next is we require our files. So we require ones inc underscore functions dot php, and the next one are the require ones for our database inc underscore connect.php. And then the next one, we get our variables. We get the value or the data from Shopify. By doing that, we can use another variable, and then take the value of get variable, and then we take hmac inside another variable, get hmac. Sorry about that. And then next one is we serialize the array. Array underscore serialize. Serialize, and then data. Don't forget the semicolon. And then the next one is we differentiate, or we use the array diff key function to take out hmac from the variable data. So to do that, we declare another variable which will call it datas or whatnot, and then just, it's not actually a good word. Let's just use request. Request is equal to, I actually really like using a word variable instead of just, for example, rex, like a really shortcut word. And as soon as you publish your app and then you check your code, you actually don't understand what the variable means. So I kind of highly recommend using a word instead of just shortened word or shortcuts. So yeah, that's it's supposed to be requests, and then array diff key, and then for the first is the data, and then the second array is of course array, and then hmac, no, we should put it in string hmac, and then no, arrow key, and then there you go. That's the purpose of that. All right, so what this means is actually this key has a value inside this data. What we do is we empty the value of this key. So yeah, let's close that. And then the next thing we're going to do is to sort the variable. So we can do that by using kr sort, and then use data or request. Sorry, there you go. Then end up with semicolon. And then the next thing we're going to do is to use the database. So let's call SQL is equal to select all from example, I think example table. Yeah, example table where shop underscore URL, or no, it's the store underscore URL from what I can remember. And single colon, single quotation mark, and then let's open under double quotation mark, It's actually pretty tricky. You use single quotation mark and then open double quotation mark and then you lose track of it. So what I do with that is I put limit 1 over here so I know that this double quotation mark is for this one and this one is for this one and this one is for this one. However, you can just put a space over here if you don't like to use limit 1, but I usually do that so I can limit my my request. Okay, so next we're going to do is to use request variable and then we use the key shop and then let's don't forget the angle bracket. And yeah, you can organize it by adding space so it's much cleaner. And next is we do my SQLi query. So to do that, we'll declare another variable, results, my SQLi query, and open that. Don't forget the connection variable and then SQL. Actually, if you are really a fan of making shortcuts, you can just copy this SQL query over here and then just copy this one over here and then just get rid of this. However, I'm not really a big fan of that because I think this one is much cleaner and I can simply understand what's going on here. Oh, I made a string over here for select or query and then I use a function MySQLi query. For me, it's cleaner, but we do have different kinds of coding styles. So yeah, it's all up to you if you like doing that. Next one is row. We're going to use MySQLi fetch assoc. Yes, fetch assoc, and then open parentheses and take results. Then close that with semicolon. All right. So now we have our query. I'm pretty sure we have here our token as well as our shop URL. So what we can do is we make another variable and it's called token and then use the row and then key token. There you go. And then for shop URL, if you're looking for shop URL, you can do that by using another variable and then use store URL. There you go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to actually parse this one into a subdomain because this is a URL. So for example, we have weekly how.myshopify.com. So that's actually the store URL in our database. So we have to take this one out and just use the subdomain. So to do that is actually very simple. What you need is to parse it into a URL and then explode it into an array and then take the subdomain. So to do that, we'll declare another variable. Let's call it parsed URL and then let's use parse URL function and then let's take shop URL variable, close that, and then next one is the host is equal to, let's say, explode function, and then we use a string of dot because we have weekly how dot myshopify.com. So for example, this is the key 0, the key 1, and the key 2. So it's actually an array. So yeah, that's how you do it. And then over here, let's use the parse URL, close that with semicolon, and then excuse me. Oh, I forgot. We should actually use over here URL. There you go. Or no, the host. And then the next one is, yeah, taking the subdomain. To do that, just declare another variable. Let's call it subdomain, and then host 0. So yeah, like I said, weekly how 0 key, my Shopify is the first, and then the second one is .com. It's the com. Yeah. All right. So we have our subdomain over there. We have our token, and we also have our store URL. So the next thing we're going to do is to actually get the HTML done. So just bear with me for a second. All right, so over here we'll make an input and then make sure it's text, and then let's make a class. Let's call the search input. The next one is name. Let's call it also search input, If you want, you can add placeholder, search for an item, like that. Next one is we're going to make an hidden type input, and then we'll call it class subdomain. This is where we're going to assign our subdomain, and then name is equal to subdomain, and the value is equal to PHP echo subdomain. Close that with semicolon. Make sure you close the PHP as well. All right, let's make another div, and we'll make a class of it, product list underscore lists. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is to actually use jQuery. So to do that, you can just type in script and then src is equal to https. I'm gonna challenge myself. I think I remember the URL of jQuery. Code.jquery.com/jQuery dash 3.3. No, it's actually dash 3.3.1.min.js. God, I hope that's right. All right, let's go script. Oh yeah, it's already there. All right. Next, another script. This is where we're going to make an Ajax function. So to do that, we're going to make a jQuery function where, like, for example, we type in shoe and then we press enter. So we're going to do that. Class search input, and then key press. Open that, open the function, and type in a function. Make sure you put an event variable, and then you close with semicolon over here, and inside we make a condition like if event that which key is this event? Is it enter? So the code for enter key is 1 3, and then or 13 if you guys want that, and we'll open the condition, and inside we'll declare another variable. Let's call it search term. Let's search, and then the value this dot val. I really like the variable this. It's really awesome. Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but anyway, yeah, declare another variable and shop subdomain. Oh yeah, let's just say shop or subdomain. It's much better. Subdomain is equal to that subdomain dot val. Close that. And this is where we're going to do an Ajax function. jQuery Ajax, and open that, and then make sure you open with curly braces and close this one before you proceed. And let's go with type. This is type post, comma. Don't forget comma before proceeding to the next parameter. Let's do with data. Open curly brace, term or search is equal to search. Actually, it's a really bad idea to do it search and search. Let's just do it like term. Yeah. And then comma, and the next is the subdomain, or let's just do it URL or store name, and then colon, then search. There you go. And then next is comma. Don't forget comma. And then yeah, URL. We need URL. Let's use search.php. We're going to create this file later. So yeah, do it like that, and then comma, and then data type, and then make sure it's HTML, and then comma once again. Oh, sorry, comma, and then success. No, it's actually function. There we go. But like a response over here. And over here, we just use the class product list over here. Open that with single quotation mark, and don't forget the dot or class, and then HTML response. There you go. Save that and make sure you put over here return false, because you need that whenever you start with which. Save that and we'll create another file, which is the search.php. So alright, so we're here now in our search.php file. So the first thing we're going to do is to, of course, open PHP, close that, and then over here we're going to access our functions.php file. Functions.php. Close that with semicolon, and the next thing we're going to do is to declare all the variables that we need so we can take the products that we need and then return it back to the Ajax, and then Ajax will process those response and send it to user or to the merchants and display in front end. So we'll declare another variable. Let's call it search, and then set the post, and then I think it's term. Yeah, that's right, term. And then another variable is for the subdomain is equal to store. And we'll go post subdomain. Alright, there you go. Close that with semicolon. And yeah, actually, we actually need another, because we need the token. So let's do require once again over here, and then inc underscore MySQL now is connect.php. There we go. Close that. Okay, so using our subdomain, we're going to access our database. So to do that, we'll declare a variable SQL to select all from example underscore table, where store underscore URL is equal to quotation, double quotation, single, and then subdomain, and then over here let's just add .myshopify.com. Yeah, and then over here let's add, is that right? Store URL, single quotation. All right, that's right. Limit 1. There you go. Select all from example table, where store URL, open, close, open, subdomain myshopify.com, limit 1. Okay, that's right. And then results is equal to MySQLi, and then query con underscore SQL. And then next is row is equal to MySQLi fetch a sock, and then results go, and then token is equal to row token. There you go. Now we have our token, we have subdomain. Now we can actually access our function.php file. We can now use that. So to do that, we'll declare another variable. Let's call products, and then let's call Shopify underscore call, and then use our token, and then subdomain, and then the API call. So let's use /admin /API /2019-10/products.json, and then comma, and then let's make an array over here, and then make sure you use get, then close that. Oh yeah, actually we need to add a value for our array, because with this call, the response of this function will also include all the data that is, we're not actually looking for those data, for example, the variants or the URLs and stuff like that, or the images. We're not looking for that. So we can filter this by using filter, and then, or no, it's not filter, it's fields, and then just add which data you're looking for. Are you looking for? It's just ID or just title. Yeah, you can do that by fields, and then make sure you use arrow key over here, and you put here what data you're looking for. ID, title. It's kind of like scope. Yeah. So yeah, with this function, the only response we'll get from this function is ID and title. So that's it. No more data. Okay, next is products. We'll use again this variable and then uh, decode the response. JSON decode and then products, the response, then make sure it is JSON pretty print. There we go. That's done. All right. So we have now our products. The next one we're going to do is to actually use for each products, as product, and then over here let's make another for each product, no, just product as key as value. There you go. Because our arrays actually start with something like this: products, and then open another one over here, product, and then another array, which is the ID, and then the title. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to actually check if our search term is in the value or is in the title. If it's in the title, then we're going to add that in our collection in another variable, which we're going to declare over here. Let's call it result, and then empty string. There you go. And then in that loop, check if the search term is inside the title. If it is, then we're going to concatenate that value in this variable and then go to the next loop, check if this term is inside the value title. If it is, again, we're going to concatenate and another loop. If it is not, then we skip, we break, and then go to the next loop, and so on and so forth. So yeah, to do that, we're going to check by using an if statement and the function stri pose, and then it's actually case insensitive. So because of this, there's actually two functions, without I and with I. This is case insensitive. So even if it's uppercase, lowercase, if the search term is inside the string, then we're going to take that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is value, take the value title. That's right. And then we're going to compare that to our search variable. There you go. And then make sure you strictly check if it is false. Why? Because this function actually returns a value, not, or the position of this term in this variable. So for example, we have the best shoes in the world. So for example, this is Shopify product, and this is our search term. We're looking for shoe. So we're going to check if this term is in this variable, which is true. He's over here, right? Case insensitive. It's true. Now with this function, he's gonna look for which position this ring is in. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's in the 9th position. That sounds so silly. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, this actually returns a value, not a Boolean value. So yeah, we're going to strictly see if it is false, if it is not false. So yeah, if our search term is in this title, then we're going to add that to our result. Then no, it's result. Then so yeah, so we're going to concatenate that with paragraph, close paragraph, and then make sure you add it over here. Concatenate once again the value title. There we go. Single, and then make sure you close it with semicolon. There we go. Oh yeah, so we're actually done. The last thing we're going to do is to use echo and then bring back the result to our Ajax. So save that, and then once it's done, it will return here the result, and then pass it over here, and then it will display in our Shopify app. So let's save everything, and then let's go back to our Shopify app. And there you have it. Now we have our input box over here. We can search for our items. Let's see in our inspect elements and see what's going over here. So as you can see, yeah, like I said, we have our input over here, and then our subdomain hidden input type is now over here. As you can see, the value is weekly how, and yeah, here's our Ajax over here. You can see that over here. Yeah. So if we type in, you can see we don't have errors. That's good. So if we search an item over here, for example, shoe, like I said, shoe, and then we press enter, it should list all the items. There you have it. If we actually search for bags, there's no bags. What about bag? There's no bag either. What about add? There should be. Yes, there is. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That's how easily you can search for items using PHP and Shopify API. No database. You don't have to save all items in the database just so you can search for all items in each Shopify store. Which actually, this is actually a pretty bad idea. It was one of my ideas, but yeah, like I said, it's not a good idea. It will just make a mess in your database, and you don't want that. So if you're looking for Shopify search for title or script, uh, here it is. And yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you think you did, make sure you subscribe. We'll have more lessons in this channel. And yes, I'll see you guys in the next part of this Shopify app development tutorial series. Thank you for watching.